A little nervous. I usually speak in the hood. I speak in the prison yards, courtrooms. But this is a beautiful crowd, and I want to take the time out to give the Crumps a round of applause for their successful business. This is my first time working this clicker too. My wife bought me a clicker, but so we finna see how this goes. But I know y'all wonder why we bring a founder of a nonprofit to a capital and commerce conference. For one reason, I deal with the number one capital on the planet Earth, and that's human life. Yes, especially our young black boys. It is 80% of the United States households are ran by single mothers. Only 20% fathers. Same with Atlanta. I started my journey in prison, I would say. That's when I realized that I had to make a change. That's when I realized that I hadn't lived. That's when I realized that I was more than a drug dealer, more than an athlete, just more than a womanizer, that I had something great in me, and I had to discover it, sitting in the cell, high max, butt naked, surrender to God. Ran out of money, ran out of lawyers, wife left, kids out there struggling, mother going through it. It was just me and God. And as I was broken to pieces, stripped of everything and everybody, it was just me wrestling with God, asking him, let me die or show me how to live. Let me die or show me how to live. On a murder charge, Sidney County Jail for a year, 11 months, waiting on a discovery package. I was shot with a .380 in the chest, 22 in the foot. The young man that was killed got shot with the same 22 in the back and died. But I had a Desert Eagle 50 caliber. The men know what that is. If you get hit with a 50 caliber, you're gonna have a hole in you the size of a truck. But the ballistics team didn't know what caliber bullet hit him. So they kept me in jail, said I was a threat to society. Ended up getting convicted because I wouldn't take the plea for involuntary manslaughter when I was defending my life and the life of my friends. And me standing on business gave me 20 years. Yes. But in prison is where I came alive. After flunking out of college, full scholarship, Georgia Southern, I read my first book in prison. And I wrote 3 books in prison that are now on Amazon Prime, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, about my life. I got a children's book called Travis Can, teaching little black boys and girls that they can do this because Travis can, they can too. They count the prison bed according to our 3rd grade reading scores.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you. My last book, Breaking the Trap, is about breaking the mindset of the traumas that we're raised with, coming from a single parent household, and most coming from 2-parent households. The traumas that lie behind those doors, we don't really get to talk about it until we get grown and land on the pillow next to your wife or your husband, or in a hotel with a prostitute, where you can really pour out your feelings. And for me, after being released in 10 years, after becoming a certified firefighter, I earned a bachelor's degree in fashion merchandising. Yes, thank you. I had to go apply myself. Now I wanted to come home better than what I was when I went. And my 4 sons, thank you. So I had 4 boys, and I knew that all they knew was Big Trap. Nobody had ever met Travis. I didn't meet him until I got to prison. You know, I'm thinking I'm the leader, but I'm really a follower. Selling drugs, fighting dogs at the club, and I was always like irritated spiritually, but I didn't know what it was. But I got to be cool, so I got to stay in the club just as long as they do. I got to do what everybody else doing. But come to find out, I was a real leader that had to be born again. And with my program, one more question is, I had so many questions for my lawyer. For one, Travis, be quiet, watch your facial expressions. But they lied. It doesn't matter. Be quiet, watch your facial expressions. The whole trial. They silenced me. They railroaded me. They let my mother and my wife at the time and my 1-month-old son come back into the cell block area. That's unheard of. They wanted me to take that plea. I told them, get out of here. I didn't kill nobody. And they know it. I'm going to trial. So after the conviction, go to prison, just become an amazing inmate. Upon my release, I'm lost, I'm afraid, no more brick money, and $35, and I'm like, what do I do? I gotta be honest, I did try the drug game again. My man got the bricks, my man ain't got the money. My man got the money, my man ain't got the bricks. It would never let it just play out. Ended up starting a job in construction called Burkle. At Burkle, I ain't never worked football, cut hair, fought dogs, sold drugs. But at Burkle, I knew that I had to be exceptionally well out here with these white boys because it's a whole nother world out there. And in 3 months, I became getting trained to be a foreman. I stayed there 4 years, and after the 4th year, I knew I had to do something greater than doing construction, traveling around the world, playing in cement. And I launched one more question. I just had a logo and a flyer. I started collecting toiletries and canned goods. And from there, it's 7 years now, and I'm in 13 schools with leadership program, teaching boys conflict resolution, skills, core values, and making it do what it do. Yes, we are all we got. And then one more question came from when I got to prison. This guy has been in prison since they were 14. Came out the house and went straight to prison. So they had one more question about the lifestyle, the trips, the cars. Everybody had one more question about life. I come home, everybody got one more question about prison life. So the lady who started me, Mr. Shauna, started me with my first live. Was she kept having, I got one more question, what you gonna name it? And that's how that was birthed. Here we go. Imagine playing the game without a coach. Who would actually let their kid get on the team and they don't have a coach? Like seriously, nobody teach you the rules, nobody teach you position, nobody teach you about your body language, nobody teach you about attitude. This is what fatherless homes are producing. Kids without a coach. So without a coach, you're gonna get penalties. You're gonna get flagged on every play, more than likely. Everybody gonna be out of position. And this is where the illiteracy rate comes from. The mass incarceration, you name it. Kids without a father. You looking at one. Even though my mother was there, I still had that freedom. Once I left her house, she had that soft voice. Baby, come on home. Too many young people are navigating life without guidance. Everybody born with talent, but so few are born with guidance. Brother Carl, he fell in love at the etiquette dinner. He fell in love. 1 in 4 children in America growing up without a father in their home. 40% are more likely not to graduate. 3 times disconnected faces elevate to risk of violence. I came home from college and I got back with my crew. We in the streets. Having that father to call, the young lady who just spoke before me said her mother wasn't in the house. It doesn't have a gender when you don't have a coach in the house. And then we have to go so hard to make up the difference for seeing mother cry, because for me, I'm willing to die by my mother, taking the load off of her, and I almost did. Not knowing I was hurting her even worse by my decisions. I think I was about 5 right there on that picture. That's the cover. That's the cover of my book, Travis Can. The question that never left me, I always felt like I had one more question. Who here feel like they have one more question for their father or their mother? And where we from, our parents don't talk to this day. I just looked at a documentary on playing with the Lakers, Dennis Rodman. He had so much pain because his father wasn't there. Grown men are finally able to speak out about our daddy issues. It's a thing. I've never had a hug from my father. And I craved that after being released from prison. I went to my grandmother's house to find my father, to no avail. Then nobody even come to the door, and I told him it's Travis. So I called my sons immediately and told them, and my son like, Dad, why you want to go meet him anyway? You got me. You always had me. You don't know what I'm missing, what I'm craving. So you wouldn't understand. But there's so many men that wants to sit down with their dad and just lay in his shoulders and just be held. This is the thing that we're missing, that touch. What happens when someone is given another chance? It's Mr. Elijah. I met Elijah when he was released from Fulton County Jail for having a gun in school in his book bag. I walked him and his mother from A to Z. Elijah's father isn't there either. My program, one more question, I'm the equity and mentorship. I go beyond the classroom. Elijah came home and we worked the deal out. He got expelled from school, had to go to another school, waiting his trial. Elijah graduated with honors. They let him walk with the school that he got expelled from. That was part of the deal. If he do right at the new school, he can come back and walk with his classmates. Elijah just completed his 12-month court sentence for this dog program, graduated top of his class. He's no longer on probation. Thank you.